Hello, watchers. This is Rigor, and I am about to review for you Crimson Peak. Ah, yes, Guillermo del Toro. Guillermo del Toro. Guillermo del Toro. I love saying that name. It is a name that rolls off of the tongue. Anyhow, I am a massive fan of Guillermo del Toro, and I'll tell you why. Sure, it goes without saying that he's a master of dazzling visuals and production design. But what I appreciate the most in the vast majority of his films is that the monster or the undead creature, much like yours truly, always ends up being the least of everyone's problems. It's those filthy humans you have to worry about. So here, just in time for Halloween, is Guillermo del Toro's latest offering, Crimson Peak. But I feel like we need to get something straight. This movie was marketed to us as a gothic horror with some romance involved, when in fact it has more in common with a slow burn Hitchcockian thriller than, say, Dario Argento's Suspiria. Quick summary. Edith Cushing, played by Mia Wasakawa Sakawila Sakaluma Sakawaskete. Mia Wasakaska. Wasakaska, we'll go with that. Anyhow, Edith is the daughter of a wealthy businessman in Buffalo, New York, and she spends what I presume is an abundant amount of free time pursuing a career in fictional writing, in which she gets constantly rejected on account of her gender. Such were the times. Enter tall, dark, charming engineer Thomas Sharp, yes, Tom Hiddleston, arriving in town with his rigid sister Lucille, portrayed by Jessica Chastain. Now they turn to Edith's father for an investment in a mining project they need desperately to work if they are to recover their long-lost fortune. Thomas shows great interest in young Edith's writing, and romance ensues, leading us to the Sharps' massive, dilapidated manor on a plot of land known as Crimson Peak. Now, I'm not going to spoil anything, but as well rendered as the shambling phantasms that haunt Edith are, they seem to have the least amount of bearing in the movie whatsoever. The movie opens with Edith as a child. The ghosts are already warning her about Crimson Peak, which functions exclusively as a plot convenience long after the audience is privy to the Sharps' true intentions. Hell, they telegraph their intentions through the whole damned movie, all leading to a fairly intense final act, if I might say so. Yes, the last 15 minutes were long overdue. There is no denying the craft of this movie. The set, the costumes, the shot composition. It's superb. The sound design, especially when inside this aging cathedral of a house with a gaping hole in its roof, the creaks, the groans, the ghostly moans, it's all pretty immersive. Hell, the performances of all involved are damned strong, but holy hell, is the narrative awash. A lot of this falls on the main character, Edith. She starts off compelling enough. In fact, they introduce her as a sort of a Belle from Beauty and the Beast, strong-willed, individualistic, intelligent. But once Tom Hiddleston puts the whammy on her, she becomes an innocuous, whimpering mess. It's frustrating how borderline subservient she is throughout this entire movie, until the sequence where everything becomes as obvious to her as it did to us 12 scenes ago. The romantic element is spoiled early on for a lot of the same reasons. It pains me to say so, but I'm going to have to give Crimson Peak 2.5 brains out of 5. You see, I almost gave it 3 brains, then I thought about it a little while, and you know how that goes. Let's hope my boy Del Toro pays as much attention to his next script as he does the elaborate, downright majestic visual flair. There you go, kiddos, my first review in the bag. You're welcome. And stay tuned for my buddy Spooks. He's going to be reviewing some video games. And, of course, make sure to subscribe to Mr. Television Face and listen to the Mr. Television Face show. Yes, part talk show, part game show, all show!